good, YouTube? This is IQ Domino coming back at y'all with another motherfucker bang of a video. Now today we're gonna be going over what women actually are attracted to, the archetypes of desire. Alright. Now, I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. I like what he say most of the time. He a actually intellectual individual. So let's get right into
A
it.
while back, the engineers, they did an analysis of women's use of pornography, men's too. Well, so males use visual pornography, as everyone and their dog knows, but women prefer literary pornography, and it's very tightly themed. It's very archetypally themed. So the typical protagonist is surgeon, werewolf, vampire, pirate, or billionaire, or some combination, some interesting combination of all of those attributes. And the standard plot
It's real simple. Bitches like dominance.
is attractive young woman, all of whose virtues are not well known. So it's like mousy librarian type, the Hollywood beauty who takes off her glasses, and exactly that. She attracts the attention of this more predatory male, let's say, or at least a male with the capacity to be predatory, entices him into a relationship and helps him reveal his commitment and his good side. And it's Beauty and the Beast, fundamentally, which I really think is the fundamental female archetype. Like there's a heroic archetype that goes along with the feminine as well, because women also confront the unknown and all of that. But it is the fundamental, it's certainly the fundamental female sexual archetype. And so what that means, this is perhaps what struck a chord in your soul, is that you were enamored, you said, of the image of tough guy, right? And so that would be equivalent in some sense to a desire from the Jungian perspective of incorporation of the shadow, right? To make yourself into someone who's capable of being stalwart and tough, a James Bond sort of figure. That's a good example in the modern age. But then you found that should be allied with a purpose, right? That rescuing of the maiden, that goes two ways. Of course, the maiden gets rescued, but the fact that dangerous hero rescues the maiden and is therefore attractive to her is also his salvation.
Right. And I mean, it is the problem that young men have to solve, right? It's the problem of power.
Absolutely.
We have strength, we have power, we have a kind of sexual power as well. And you start to think, well, if you don't want to be the bad guy, I mean, at some point, every young man realizes that nasty guys get more sex. And they realize that people who push women around can be very successful. And you have to say to yourself, well, is that who I want to be? And I very much did not want to be that guy, but I did want to be successful with girls. And I also could perceive, just in actual fact, that the world is a corrupt place, and it's power that makes it corrupt. And Raymond Chandler has that famous, wonderful line, "Down these mean streets a man must go who is not himself mean." And that just rang a bell inside me.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so on that too, so the literature shows, so what the psychopath.
I ain't gonna lie, listen. It really just come down to this. Like, this is what women like. Across the board, I don't give a fuck what any woman honestly says. They're not gonna confess to this ever. But the truth is that they like motherfuckers that just know what they want and they just really push it on them. I ain't saying rape them or do something breaking laws and no shit like that. Nah, it's really more so the motherfucker that is flirting, right? He's making a effort to get what he wants. So if I'm flirting with a girl and I'm saying, I like this about you, I like that about you, I definitely want to see, I want to do some things to you. You can act however you want to act behind closed doors, things like that. I'm basically low-key forcing my agenda on her, right? Because believe it or not, whatever 9 times out of 10, women don't really have an agenda. Like, they don't really know what they want until it's been presented to them, or they really have been it's really been instilled into them. But even then, shit can be instilled into them and they really don't want it. So it's like, if you a guy, 9 times out of 10, most women, if you just know what you want and you go for it and you really go at her like that, 9 times out of 10 she gonna fold. She gonna fold if she with it. At the end of the day, she gotta be with it, but she's gonna be somewhat attracted to you, even if she don't like you, bro. Like there are women who fuck with me and they don't like me, like they really don't like me. Like a good bit of our conversations is me proving them wrong in a debate or them trying to make a point and trying to win a debate. And I don't give a fuck about winning or not, so it just end there. But they're attracted to me. Like they literally can't stop talking to me. They can't stop thinking about me. They can't stop looking at me. They can't stop texting me. It really come down to just you gotta really know how to be the motherfucker to just go for what you want, and that's what really attract the woman. If you look at a vampire, he want the blood. Billionaire, he is a billionaire. He know what he want. He got what he want. It's all on a platform. We talking about archetypes, but the archetypes don't really matter. It's just the essence of pure fucking dominance, pure assertiveness that the women like. Like even dominant women, and I hear this all the time that motherfuckers think that dominant women don't like dominant men because it don't work. Listen, dominant women get submissive around a dominant man. They get very submissive, and they would even tell you, for the motherfuckers that been in the lab since the beginning, y'all know, like, if you've been using the information, y'all know, like, and the motherfuckers that subscribe to this, I'm pretty sure y'all have an understanding that they be surprised off the fact that they be submissive. They be surprised that they're attracted. They be surprised that they watch these videos. Like dominant women like watching me. Even some like all women, like it's surprising that even dominant women are attracted to dominant men. Like they, even if they don't even want to agree to it, even if they don't want to accept the fact that they're being dominated, they accept it and they are very accepting of it, like welcoming of it when you are that way. But most men not, and that's the biggest kicker of it, is that this motherfucker is as dominant as it sounds, as crazy as it sounds. Most men ain't like this. Most men ain't gonna say, listen, I want you to show me something, send me a little something. Most men not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? They gonna do it, but they gonna do it in a way of indirect or nonchalant. Most men ain't gonna say, listen, I want to get with you tonight. You know what you got going on right now. Most men ain't gonna come like that. Most men ain't gonna say, listen, you look sexy as fuck, I just want it, but as good as you look, something I don't know about you, I want to get to know you. Most men not coming like that. They gonna come trying to start a conversation. They coming, no. When you force the agenda onto a woman, she has no choice but to want it. Like, a part of her is gonna want it. Unless she got something in her that's keeping her from wanting it, she's gonna want it. It's just how it is. It's like, it's not really about being bad or nasty to women. You just gotta be direct. It's about being direct.
The narcissists, the Machiavellians, and even the sadists to the men is that the false...
And that's why we get these labels. That's why we get these labels, because they like, something gotta be wrong for you to really go for what you want. Like, something has to be wrong, because that's just so out of the norm. It's so out of the norm for a man to just be like, it's so out of the norm for a man to be, alright, let's say you in high school. It's so out of the norm for the quiet kid to go to the baddest woman and the baddest girl in the school and just be like, I want you, come here. Come in this classroom with me. Something must be wrong with him. Like, something must be wrong with him for him wanting to duck off in that classroom. Like, something has to be off, because he's not the guy of the school to try to go after the girl of the school. Something must be off about him. But it really just a motherfucker just going for what he want. And that's why 9 times out of 10, if she don't do it, her best friend gonna do it, and after the best friend do it, she gonna tell her best friend, and she gonna eventually want to do it anyway. It's crazy, but it's just like that's the fantasy that women have in their head. That's the fantasy that women dream about. That's the fantasy women write about. They don't think about fucking, you know what I'm saying, the motherfucking nice guy, back of the room, I'm scared of what people, they don't want that. Like, they don't. Because you don't know what the fuck you want. Why would they want somebody if you know you want to fuck them because you're a human being. But at the end of the day, it's more to it than that. Like, and that's why if you being like, I want you, and this is what I want you to do for me. This is how I want you to be on my team. I want you to be in my number 1 draft. I want you to be here with me tonight. You thinking like that, you gonna get labeled sometimes. It's just how it goes.
Confidence of the narcissist is a mimicry of competence. And that can be put on very early. And young women are particularly susceptible to that camouflage. And that partly accounts for the differential success of bad boys, let's say. Now, it's partly because the women are looking for the beast that can be turned into the ally, but it's not easy for them to distinguish the beast who is beast right to the bloody core and should be stayed away from in every possible way from the potentially redeemable, Philip Marlowe hero. And then there's another complication too, to say something in favor of the more beastly men is that the other thing a woman doesn't want, and no men really want to have around either, is a man who's actually weak and unskilled, who pretends to be moral and kind, not only to cozy up to women, but also to parade his weakness as moral virtue. I'm not the mean guy, I'm not the bad guy. Well, the reason for that is you're too goddamn weak to manage that. And instead of just admitting that forthrightly and doing something about it, you parade it as a moral virtue. And I think that sort of man is actually a lower form of man than the outright bully. And there's some evidence that other people think this too, because me
personally, I'm a strong believer of that. The reason why, for the viewers watching this, I already know the comments, whatever. But the reality of it is that a lot of men would rather live in the identity, in the idea that has been created before them. And the reason why they decide to live that identity is not because they really desire it. It's not because that's what they want. It's because they think that's what they should do. And when you're thinking that you should do something, that's why you do it. You initially living with chains on you, and that lifestyle, living that kind of life, is fucking meaningless. It is truly meaningless because it's not. You don't really have a real reason outside of you think you should do it. It's like. It's like, but it's all you think about. That's all you want to do. It's all you think about. It's all that plays in your head because that's you really wanting to do it, but you don't do it. To me, that's a weak man. Like, me personally, I've been there before, so I can make fun of it, and that's why I always make fun of like the red pill community and all them niggas because it's like thinking like that. It's like, and you accepting it. See, me, I went to the OGs, I went to the P's, I went to the G's, I went to everybody I can go to who really was like the pendulum of what I believe what a man should be. And I learned from them. Y'all motherfuckers would be like, nah, bro, like, that's not right, bro. I'm good the way I am, man. I'm like Jesus. Motherfucker told me he was like Jesus. And this nigga was, from the next time I saw him, he was angry every time I saw him. Like, these motherfuckers don't be living in real life. They don't be living in real life, bro. Like, they mind, like, if you really listen to the way the concept of the nice guy, bro, it's really, it's not manly. It's like a woman, honestly. If you really look at it, it's like a woman. A woman parades, all right, put it like this. Every nice guy that you know, right, they are super nice, they super, all it takes is one girl to go up to that guy and really just pull his pants down and just get with him. Just like that. Get at him. And he just be like, nah, he ain't gonna force him off. Nah, he not. Especially if they talking to him while they don't, he ain't gonna do it. Because he getting dominated. And he's going to take it. I promise you. If a girl really comes, and that's why you be having so many nice guys, good guys, be having so much, they dark side be so bad, they either watch porn all day, they don't fuck their house with their wife, they fucking get prostitutes. It's because they don't really have a real meaning behind what they doing. It's been fed to them. It's bullshit.
Antisocial bully types, especially in elementary school, aren't unpopular. They're ambivalently popular. Now, what happens is that as their life progresses, if they continue with the bullying attitude, let's say that sort of narcissistic and even callous attitude towards others, it doesn't work well as a long-term strategy. But the bullies are certainly more popular in elementary school, say, and even in junior high, than the bully victims are.
I think it goes beyond that. I mean, I think this is why feminism has blown up in women's faces so much, is when you outlaw masculinity, when you call it toxic, when you make people feel bad about their masculinity, only outlaws can be masculine. So if you look at the golden age of television we just passed through that lasted about 10 years from about 2020 to 2010 or 15, all of the shows were about bad guys. The Sopranos, The Shield, The Wire, all about guys who really cut the edge. This fellow Andrew Tate, who is a buffoon and a pimp and just a terrible person. For a period, he was immensely popular, especially with teen boys. And he would tell people how to abuse women and how to get them into sex work for your profit. And I would look at that and I would say, the guy's a pimp. What are you talking about? Right. But they would say, well, you're not hearing him. You're not really understanding him. But
I think that's a pimp. I always say, I'm just a player. I'm not a pimp. But I honestly, in this world, I do not think I'm better than anybody. Put me in a certain situation where I have to be a certain way. I'm probably gonna do it. Like, it don't. And keep in mind, it don't have to go against my morals. So I ain't gonna be the type of motherfucker to beat the shit out of a woman that's doing something. No, but if she be like, I want to do this, and if you got access to this, I do this. What? Would I? I ain't gonna. What? Give me 10 bands for you to go sit down and talk to a nigga? Bitch, what? You just talking to him? No, I want to. I want to do more. You want to do more? What? For how? 20K? These niggas paying $20,000 for some pussy. And you want to give me $5K? Just because? You think I ain't gonna do?
I think what they had lost was the idea of St. George. They had lost the idea that your power is a path to virtue. It's not an obstacle to virtue if you use it correctly.
Yeah, well, and to give the devil his due, I mean, the thing about Tate is he is a complex character because not all of his bravado and posturing is false, because he is a mixed martial arts fighter. He is a genuinely tough guy. And he is also someone who came up from the street, and so you can imagine that within his soul, all sorts of different forces contend. And I am not making excuses for him, because I think the electronic pimping aspect in particular is, I think that's unforgivable. It's absolutely 100% unforgivable. There's no excuse for ever having done that in your life, not even once. And it's not even necessarily the kind of sin that you can recover from, not without 20 years in serious hang your head repentance. But he is a complex figure, because allied with his bravado is a genuine physical toughness. And it is definitely the case that, as you pointed out, something I warned about years ago, is that, if you think that strong men are dangerous, you wait till you see what weak men are capable of. And
hey, listen, this is strictly for IQ Domino listeners. This is strictly for motherfuckers that's really in the lab. Alright? Understand, bro, when you got weak people around you, friends, family members, and they are weak-minded individuals, there are some of the craziest, most skillful, most elite backstabbers that you ever meet in your life. There are some of the most elite sneak dissers you will ever meet in your life. There are some of the most elite at that. So be careful of the weak. I always say it's better. I would rather have a motherfucker around me that's an asshole that I have high respect for. I don't even have to like him that much. But if I got high respect for him and he's loyal, can't forget that trait. If I don't like him, I got high respect for him and he's loyal, I'd rather be around him more than somebody that's nice, weak-minded, don't say their opinion. I'd rather not be around you, bro. I'd rather be around somebody that I dislike, I know that's loyal and I respect him. I actually be like, all right, nigga, let's ride out together. Let's go do this together. Let's go ahead and venture off together. Because I know at the end of the day, he gonna hold his own. This weak motherfucker, he might come down to it. Gun to my head, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you gotta go do this. He might go home. His ass might go home, bro. He gonna scapegoat his ass straight home, bro. Because he know he can't handle the pressure. He know he ain't built. I'm over here getting jumped. He watching. Hey, man, I was over there trying to get over there. They was holding on to me. You ain't see me? You ain't see me? Man, get the fuck out of here, weak ass nigga, man. I'll beat his ass. Who's I shake back? Hey, listen, man. Hey, man, like, that's why I fuck with Jordan Peterson, dog. I always did, man, since the beginning, since I first ran into him.
If you demonize everything that's positive, everything positive that's associated with masculinity, you do drive it into the unconscious. You drive it underground, and then you do get this weird attraction. You know, like another element of that attraction is who is that? There was a show for a long time about a serial killer who decided to
Dexter. Yeah.
Dexter, exactly the same sort of thing, right? And you see the same sort of thing pop up, for example, in 50 Shades of Grey, which is again an archetypal example of the feminine proclivity for a certain kind of structured pornography.
50 Shades of Grey was my shit growing up. I ain't gonna cap. I used to, you know what I'm saying? The doom. Hey, only beginning when it started getting all emotional and shit. I ain't want to fuck around. But nah, it was cool though. But nah, man, overall, man, it was a good video, man. I always fuck with Jordan Peterson, man. That's why I like his content. Him and Robert Greene are some of the dopest. I actually need more influential, philosophical motherfuckers to listen to. So if y'all really got anybody that y'all think is worth listening to y'all, leave it in the comments, man. And let the motherfuckers, you know, be heard in the lab. You feel me? So if y'all like this type of content, leave a like down below. You like this type of content, subscribe, because I drop it all the time. Shit like this all the time. And I'm going to see y'all when I